Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February 22nd meeting of the City of Clovis Planning Commission. Members of the public are encouraged to participate in meetings by accessing the webcast on the city's website, providing written comment at the same website, participating by phone, or attending the Planning Commission meeting here in person. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you can all join me for the flag salute. Commissioner Hinkle will be leading us. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commission Secretary, if you can call for the roll.
Sure. For the record, Commissioner Bedstead is absent. Commissioner Hatcher?
Here.
Commissioner Hebert?
Here.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Here.
Chair Antuna?
Here. Okay, I'd like to open a motion to approve the minutes for the January 25th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Hatcher and second by Commissioner Hebert to approve the January 25th, 2024 minutes. Commissioner Hatcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Hebert?
Yes.
Chair Antuna?
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Yes.
And for the record, Commissioner Bedstead is absent. And the vote passes 4-01.
Okay. Commission Secretary, do we have any comments?
Yes, Dave will cover a couple of items.
Thank you. Yeah, just a couple of items. One, it's worth noting that earlier this week, on Monday evening, the council approved a settlement agreement on a long-standing court case, Desiree Martinez versus the City of Clovis, regarding a housing issue. The settlement information is all posted on the city's website under the news section. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, it would be worth doing so. Some of the items included in the settlement will ultimately come before the Planning Commission as Planning Commission business in your normal role, but it would be of interest or at least of curiosity for you to take a look at that when you have an opportunity. The second item is that we, about 3 weeks ago or so, we did advertise in the Business Journal an item that we had anticipated being heard by the Planning Commission this evening, a conditional use permit for Valley Crescent School. That item was later found not to be ready for consideration. No mail notices went out, but in the event that anybody that is present this evening or listening online was interested in that project, we will consider that at a later meeting, and a new notice will be distributed.
Very good. Do we have any Planning Commission member comments?
I'd like to just make a comment. I don't know if anybody listened to the Cal Cities webinar last week or earlier this week, but they mentioned that they are addressing the aging baby boomer. So they're going to be addressing that for now and through the future on it. So you'll be hearing things on it. You might want to keep an eye on it. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. At this time, we wanted to provide an opportunity. We're going to be taking business from the floor. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the Planning Commission on any matter within the Planning Commission jurisdiction that is not listed on the agenda. If you would like to speak, please step up to the mic there, state your name and address for the record, and in order for everyone to be heard, we limit it to about 10 minutes for any per topic, 5 minutes per person. Additionally, if you want to be put on the agenda, you must come see the Planning Commission for correspondence 10 days prior to the date of the appearance. Do we have any comments from the floor? Do we have any online?
No online comments.
Okay, so, no comments. We're going to go ahead and close, the business from the floor, and now, open the public hearing portion. Item 1, consider approval of Resolution 24, CUP 2020-006A, a request to approve a conditional use permit to allow for these temporary modular office buildings at 1265 North Minnewawa Avenue, the Well Community Church, owner Russell F. Taylor, applicant, and representative. Staff member Liz Salazar, presenting.
Chair, just wanted to briefly mention for the record that for this item, City Planner Dave Merchant and our supervisor, Civil Engineer Sean Smith, both have a conflict of interest on this item, so they have left the room, and will come back after this item is heard.
Very good. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. The Well Church site is located north of Nees Avenue between Minnewawa and Clovis Avenues, and is zoned RA, which allows church uses subject to approval of a CUP. The surrounding land uses to the north, east, and south are single-family residential, and Buchanan High School is to the west. The church ultimately proposes to develop on a 53-acre portion, however, is developing in phases. In March of 2021, the Planning Commission approved CUP 2020-006, which allowed the church use on a 23-acre portion of the site for 3 structures. Currently, the church is operating in 2 of those structures, and the 3rd is in construction. The current proposal is for 3 temporary modular buildings that would be located in the area identified in red, and the buildings that are adjacent will continue with agriculture uses and are not included in this proposal. The modular buildings will be used for church offices and will operate with typical hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the modular buildings will be limited to a 5-year term starting from the date of occupancy of the first modular building. The applicant has identified that the ultimate plan is to build a permanent office building for the church site in future phases. The modular buildings, they will be typical in form and be required to be painted to match the existing buildings on the site, and are required to provide landscaping. The landscaping is to integrate the modular buildings to the site and just provide some screening for them. The future 3rd possible portable building is not included in the site plan review following the CUP. If it does come back for that, an amendment for that site plan review will be required, and landscaping would be required for that as well. So just based on the findings provided on the staff report and no opposing comments from the public or outside agencies, we do recommend approval of the CUP 2020-006A, subject to the conditions of approval. And I'm here for any questions.
Okay. Do planning commissioners have any clarifying questions for staff? No? Okay. Okay. Do we have the applicant present? If you'd like to step up to the mic here, please state your name and your address for the record. Thank you. Oh, there's a button right there. There you go.
Jeremy Vanderlinden, 1834 North Fancher Avenue, Clovis, California, 93619. Yeah, so we're grateful. I'm the executive pastor at the Well Community Church. We're grateful for you guys willing to consider this, and since May of 2023 and us occupying that new site, we've seen tremendous growth, and quite simply, we're looking for a space to house additional staff to accommodate that growth. So we look forward to working with you guys in the future for a permanent solution for offices, but right now we understand this is a temporary one, and we're grateful for your partnership with the church. You guys have been great, And, again, we look forward to future projects with you guys as well. So thank you for allowing us to do this.
Wonderful. Are there any clarifying questions from commissioners for the applicant? Okay, thank you very much. Now, in the public, we will be taking comments for this item. So anyone in support in the public that'd like to speak? Do we have anyone online?
No online comments.
All right. Do we have anyone in the public who wants to speak against this project? Seeing none, do we have any online?
No online comments.
Okay. Seeing no comments online or on the floor, I'm going to bring it back to the Planning Commission. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing portion and deliberate. Okay, seeing no comments, we'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve CUP 2020-006A, the request to approve a conditional use permit to allow for the 3 temporary modular office buildings.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Hatcher and a second by Commissioner Hebert to adopt a resolution approving conditional use permit 2020-006A to allow for 3 temporary modular office buildings at 1265 North Minnewawa Avenue. Commissioner Hatcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Hebert?
Yes.
Chair Antuna?
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Yes.
And for the record, Commissioner Bested is absent. And the motion carries 401.
Okay, very well. Moving on to our second item. Consider approval of Resolution 24, CUP 2023-010, adopting Class 2 and Class 32 categorical exemptions from further environmental review under CEQA, and a request to approve a conditional use permit to allow a drive-through restaurant in conjunction with an office/retail building located at 10 West Bullard Avenue, Cavasso Investments LLC, and Berzecker, and I'm sorry that I'm not saying that correctly, LLC owner. Oh my goodness. Barrelfoot Architects, and I'm really sorry that I butchered that terribly. Liz Salazar, staff planner, presenting.
Thank you. The project site is located at 10 West Bullard Avenue on the southwest corner of Bullard and Minnewawa Avenues. The site is currently occupied by a commercial building that will be demolished in conjunction with this project. The parcel is zoned C2 Community Commercial, which allows drive-through uses subject to approval of a conditional use permit. The adjacent land uses are multifamily to the north and south, commercial to the east, which is the post office, and single family to the west. As I stated, the project proposes to demolish the existing building, and it will be replaced with a 5,956 square foot commercial building with 3 tenants. One of the tenants will be the drive-through user, and they will occupy about 2,200 square feet. And the drive-through user has been identified as Starbucks. Starbucks will operate 7 days a week from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. However, the CUP has conditioned the operating hours until 11 p.m. to provide flexibility for the tenant. There will be no outdoor patio proposed with this Starbucks. The drive-through lane is proposed on the eastern side of the building and can accommodate 14 queuing vehicles, and that does meet code requirements. The project does not propose to modify any of the existing access points of the commercial center, so they will all remain the same. And the applicant has provided some of the elevation mock-ups there. Parking for the site is calculated cumulatively with the commercial center at a rate of 4.7 stalls per 1,000 square feet. With the current project, that would require 393 stalls. However, currently there are only 296 stalls present, and with the modification to the project, 275 stalls will remain, which is a 21 stall reduction. The parking deficit appears to date back to the original development of the site. So staff did review historical aerials and did not find any substantial changes to the parking since the original development, showing that this deficit has been existing. In order to review the parking demand of the center, staff did conduct site visits for 7 consecutive days, focusing on the peak hours of the Starbucks in the morning, and did observe that during the peak hours of Starbucks, there was no more than 20% of the stalls were occupied. And furthermore, the numerous existing tenants do not open until 11 or after 11 a.m., which shouldn't conflict too much with the Starbucks. The parking and demand of the shopping center does peak in the evening, and staff noted that that peak occurred during the bingo events, and the observation was that there was still remaining about 30% of the parking availability on those nights of the bingo nights. Although this proposal does reduce the existing parking stalls by 21, it is replacing the building at almost the same size, and now will have a drive-through component. The drive-through component is expected to reduce the parking demand of the Starbucks tenant, and the applicant has agreed for the condition that will be placed on the new building for the 2 remaining tenants to be only office or general retail, which are likely to produce a lower parking demand. So that has been part of the conditions of approval. Another element that the applicant has agreed to is clean up some of the parking that is striped on the rear and southern property line. So there are stalls that were proposed there with the original development that would need to be restriped, and that will be confirmed with the site plan review. So based on the staff analysis, we do support the reduction of the parking stalls, and the project will provide revitalization to the site with this new building, and the property owner has identified that they will continue revitalization of the center with facelifts of these spine buildings as well. So based on that and findings that are stated in the staff report, we did not receive any opposing comments. We are recommending approval of CUP 2023-010, subject to the conditions of approval. And I'm available for any questions.
Okay. Do commissioners have any clarifying questions for staff? Very well. Then we're going to go ahead and open for the public hearing. Do we have the applicant present? Please step up and state your name and address for the record, and go ahead and hit that little red button. Yeah, it's the one with the voice or the little person. There you go.
Well, fortunately, I have one of these big booming voices, so I better move away. So, my name is Robert Vermelfort, 8525 North Cedars, Suite number 106, Fresno, California, 93720. You know at least how to say the Vermelfort side of it. So, I'd like to thank Dave and Liz very much, because you can tell we spent a lot of time working with them and the conditions of approval and getting this thing worked out. Anytime you bring in a revitalization, especially of an older project like this, there are some challenges, and Dave spent a lot of extra time working through this, so thank you very much. We are going to use this as a launching pad, like Liz was saying. We've already worked on some preliminary elevations for the rest of the shopping center. Unfortunately, I can't do anything to Dollar General, but I think we've got a good plan for the rest. I'll have to work with Dave and Liz on how exactly to make that best for everybody too. But as Parking is the crazy issue on this one, is the shopping center never had the parking that would be 4.7. And of course, with all the requirements now from all cities to reduce the amount of parking to I'm doing a project right now in Oregon, well, they won't let us do more cars than what the municipal code says, which is really frustrating because they say less than we really have to have. But we've spent a lot of time looking at this center, and we think that we can do this without affecting the rest of the shopping center. So, other than that, I'm open for any other questions you may have, but we're happy with the conditions for approval and look forward to moving forward with the project. So.
Very good. Any questions, clarifying questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'd like to go for public comments. Anyone support of the, do we have anyone in the public who wants to speak in support of this project? Do we have anyone online?
No online comments.
Okay, at this time, we're going to take anyone in opposition of this project here in the public. Seeing none, do we have anyone online?
No online comments.
Very good, then. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back for discussion among the commissioners or questions for staff. I have a traffic question. I guess that's the concern. Sometimes there's a lot of gridlock in that little area because it's just busy. So I'm assuming, I read through, the report, but no traffic concerns really as far as, because it's at Starbucks, and Starbucks just tend to bring a lot of people, so I was very smart to bring Starbucks in that area to bring revitalization. I guess that was a concern. The parking was a concern for me, and so was the traffic, so maybe you can speak a little on that.
Yeah, Liz did a very good job on the parking. As far as the traffic goes, we worked with the applicant to make sure that the queuing was further away from the major streets, so that was helped our comfort level. And then we have some ideas on just the internal circulation of the site that we'll pose to the applicant, but as is, we're pretty happy with it right now, especially with the queue that far away from Bullard.
Okay, very good. That was my only question. Any other discussion? Okay, we'll open for a motion then.
Nobody jumps on it. I will make a motion to approve CUP 2023-010.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Hatcher and second by Commissioner Hebert to approve a resolution adopting the categorical exemptions and approve conditional use permit 2023-010 for a drive-through restaurant in conjunction with an office retail building. Commissioner Hatcher?
Yes.
Commissioner Hebert?
Yes.
Chair Antuna?
Yes.
Commissioner Hinkle?
Yes.
And for the record, Commissioner Bested is absent, and the motion carries forward 401.
Very good. Okay, seeing nothing else here on our little agenda, we'll go ahead and adjourn at 6:24 until our next meeting on March 28th.